Hi, and welcome to day one of our 12-a-day challenge and our weekly Q&A call. I want to congratulate those of you who have started the 12-a-day challenge and are eating goal of 12 fruits and vegetables. Many of you got started with 5 or 6 in your breakfast. I have another group where people are posting, so I'm hoping that they will come over to this group and post theirs as well, because I've seen some wonderful green smoothies and things like that. So it doesn't have to be all vegan. Someone in one of my other groups posted theirs with an egg. And for some of you, an egg will work. So eggs aren't right for everyone, but there's no one size fits all. So whatever works with you. We are just looking at fruits and vegetables for this week. So that doesn't mean you have to be vegan. That just means you're trying to get 12 fruits and vegetables into your day. So why am I doing this? Because I had read a study way back in 2000 or 2001 from Dr. Weil that we need to eat 10 to 12 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. And that blew my mind, because in my nutrition studies, I had learned that we needed 5 a day. That's the ads they always use, 5 a day, 5 fruits and vegetables a day. And so 12 just seemed crazy and impossible. And at the time it was very challenging for me. I wasn't even meeting the 5 a day, or barely was meeting 5 a day. And so I know that it's something we can all do, and that it can seem overwhelming at first. So this challenge is for you to eat 12 different fruits and vegetables a day. I'm not asking you to do servings, that we're doing baby steps here. So if you can get 12 different fruits and vegetables in your day, doesn't matter how big or small, then you are making progress. So I asked everyone over the weekend to please post or look at where you are now. We all have a starting point. So way back in 2001, even though I had been studying all of this, I was only barely meeting 5 a day. And so for me at that time, if I got 6 today, then I would be doing better than I was yesterday. Do 7 tomorrow. And so that's where I want you to be too. If you're already eating 12 or 10 to 12 fruits and vegetables a day, then I want you to start looking at servings. And so servings are totally different. When we look at fruits and vegetables, the size of your fist is about the size of a serving of fruits and vegetables. So that could be a small apple. For me, I have little hands. It could be a larger apple if that is for you. And so I just want to make sure that for those of you who are just starting at 10 to 12, that we're just looking at items right now, not serving size. And I'll get more into that in a minute. So I have a question. Thanks for joining me, Amilu. I copied all of your recipes, did the shopping, so I can do this with you. Is each recipe a whole meal? Can't read them more. Wonder if I can on the computer. Or do you just use these to try to get the 12 accomplished? Just use these to try to get the 12 accomplished. And so this is just part of your baby steps. So if you like one of the breakfast meals, then use that to get started for the day. If you like some of the items suggested for lunches and dinners, then do all 3. It's just however it works into you. I just wanted to give everyone some ideas for the challenge. So I had another question in here too. Someone had private messaged me. Let's see. And I thought it was a really good question. Okay, so 12 fruits or vegetables a day. What if we put 8 vegetables in a salad, but some are only a 1/4 cup and others are 2 cups? So for this challenge, I'm just looking at different items, not serving size. So I don't know if you saw the picture of my salad yesterday. I got a salad at In Vegan in Atlanta. It was kind of pathetic. I'm not going to recommend them to any of you. If you don't know if you saw my tomato, but it was like white. It wasn't even red. Anyway, it had maybe a tablespoon of carrots in there. It did have some cabbage, it had some kale, it had some arugula, and it had the tomato that you saw in there. And so I would count, even though it was only like a tablespoon of carrots, I'm still going to count that as 1, the kale, the arugula, the cabbage, and the tomato. And so that would still be 5 in there. It seems like there might have been something else. I did eat half a banana too. Anyway, I was still counting that as 5, even though the bowl probably only held 2 cups. And so that was probably only 2 servings of fruits and vegetables. I'm going to count that as 5 for this challenge. And so you asked, is this still 8 if we ate 8 vegetables in the salad? Yes. And so that would be your answer for that. It looks like I have another question. Having trouble flipping back and forth here. Okay, I think you're on. It's how do I access the live? And it looks like you are on the live. Yes, okay. All right, so some other things I wanted to talk about were some tips. And so if you're trying to increase your day, and so if you're like me back in 2001, when I was like, oh my gosh, I'm only eating 5, look at where you can add. And so I don't always recommend snacks unless you're trying to put on weight. And some of you are trying to put on weight. You're trying to add weight, then add some fruit at like 10 a.m. or at 3 p.m. or maybe if you don't have blood sugar problems, at the end of the day, or add, if you do have some sugar issues, which sugar can be a concern, then maybe some celery with some hummus, or a black bean dip with some other kind of vegetable, carrot sticks, steamed broccoli. I like steamed versus the raw, but you do want to eat raw as well. So anything like that. Look at your breakfast. If you're eating toast or cereal, which I don't recommend, but that is another something we can work on later on, then where can you add fruit to that? Juices. So I do like juices, vegetable juices. Fruit juices are going to cause a sugar spike. So if you do want sugar, I don't know if you saw my little reel, but juice should only be a half a cup, 4 ounces of juice if it's fruit juice. If it's a green juice, if it's carrot juice can spike your sugar. You want to make sure you're drinking these with food. And so no more than 4 ounces with something you're chewing to activate the enzymes in your mouth to help slow that sugar spike. You can have kale juice. Like today I had cucumber, celery, and the kale stems. So when I eat kale or a collard salad, I save the stems and put them in my juicer. So those juices you can drink more if they don't spike your blood sugar. So way back when, sorry, I got another message. Way back when I was going to the School of Natural Healing. Actually, that wasn't that long ago. I studied with Dr. Christopher's methods. He had passed, so it wasn't him. But his school, we talked about bringing the body into balance. And so I don't know if you saw my personal post today, I'm learning all about traditional Chinese medicine. And it is all about the body in balance, which is the same as the School of Natural Healing, the body in balance. And we look at the gut. And so he was way into gut health many years ago. So is traditional Chinese medicine, which is thousands of years ago. We look at balance, we look at digestion, we look at bringing everything into harmony. And so that is one of the reasons why I want 12 different fruits and vegetables a day, because the more we learn about the microbiome and the different gut bugs that we use, the more we learn that each one likes something different. They all feed off different nutrients, and they use those nutrients to create better health for you. So that can be to help synthesize some of your B vitamins, vitamin K, vitamin D in your liver. You need all of these different gut bugs to help you with that, to repair and your digestive lining. So even if you don't have injury in your digestive lining, to keep that lining intact and strong, we need all these different microbes, and every different color, every different fruit and vegetable is going to give you something else to aid in that health. So now I'm studying at, I can't remember the words, Institute for Nutritional Endocrinology. I am training to be an nutritional endocrinology practitioner. And so the same thing, we start with the gut. And so endocrinology is your hormones. And so not necessarily the sex hormones, that is all the hormones in your body, for your adrenals, for your thyroid, for your pancreas, all these different hormones. And we always begin with digestion and sugar. And so we want to make sure we're watching sugar spikes, and we're also watching our gut health. Okay, so I have another question. Why is vanilla protein added to some of the recipes? Well, you can leave that out. That is completely optional. Some people do like to have protein added to theirs. So it's very important to look at a clean protein, and that is something that I have talked about in some other episodes, but you can leave that out. As a matter of fact, I don't ever put vanilla protein in mine, but some people like that, especially people who are switching to vegan. They get nervous, I'm not getting enough protein, which is a whole nother soapbox that I could get on. Believe me, if you're eating 12 fruits and vegetables, you are getting enough protein. There's protein in all of your whole foods. You just have to eat more of them, which is why I have a giant salad at lunch. I don't eat any animal products, but I do have a lot of, I do get plenty of protein. I track it and I usually get over 100 grams. And so for my size, that's way more than I need in a day. And so you can get plenty of protein. You don't need the protein powder. If it is too liquidy for you, you can always add things like I put maca root or lucuma powder or marshmallow root or slippery elm, any of those, but it depends on your constitution, what works for you. Marshmallow and slippery elm are very mucilaginous and soothing. And so, and they're adaptogens. And so I like those things, but that's completely individual. So my disclaimer, I forgot to put this in the beginning. Remember, this is not medical advice. Everything that I say, I'm not prescribing, I'm not diagnosing, any information used for your educational purposes, and please run this by your own medical practitioner. And so I talked about variety. I want to make sure you're getting 12 fruits and vegetables. Serving size is about the size of a fist, but that is beyond this challenge. We're going for variety over servings. I have another message that is not relevant to this discussion. So I'm not seeing any other questions. I do want to encourage you to post pictures. They are very inspirational to everyone else. I'll repeat that again. When we see pictures, they don't have to be pretty. Remember, we're focusing on progress, not perfection. You can just post 1 or 2 pictures. It doesn't have to be all pictures today, but I would love to see all of them, and so would everyone else. And no one is keeping track of you, only you. You are holding you accountable, and by posting your picture, that is kind of your accountability check. And so if you'll put your number, how many you're getting in a day, and aim for 12 or more, that would be fabulous. Okay, what was the name of the thickeners? So I thicken mine with, well, slippery elm is a great one. Slippery elm is also very safe for everybody. If you have someone who is sick and can't keep any food down even, you can make slippery elm almost like an oatmeal. So I love slippery elm powder. Marshmallow root is very similar. I kind of use them interchangeably. Marshmallow does have kind of a different flavor. Slippery elm doesn't have much flavor at all. I also love maca root. Now, maca root is a cruciferous vegetable. It's the root of a cruciferous vegetable, and it is called a strengthening herb. And it's been frequently used mostly for men to help with testosterone, but it can be used for many different things. I like the flavor. The other one is lucuma powder, which is lucuma and maca are both from Peru. And lucuma is used almost as an artificial sweetener in some recipes for some people. It has kind of a caramel type flavor. And so lucuma powder can also be used to help thicken if you don't want protein powder. Now, I do use protein powder sometimes. I will use pea protein, that is straight pea protein. I look for protein powders that don't say the word isolate in them. I don't like it when things have been taken apart. I like whole foods. But once again, if you are eating plenty of fruits and vegetables, you are getting enough protein. If you are worried about your protein, then you can always use trackers, MyFitnessPal or Chronometer. You may say Chronometer. But I really like, that's one of my favorite apps there actually. But if you are one of those that is prone to calorie restrict, a lot of us grew up in a period where we need to eat less calories, then only track for a day and let it go, because calories are not, when we look at hormones, calories aren't what matters. It's the quality of your food that matters. If foods are too liquidy, add what? Okay, so that's the thickeners. I think I answered that question. Oh, and recipes that call for chocolate protein powder, I don't think I have any of those included in this recipe book, but I don't ever use those even. I just use cocoa powder instead of chocolate flavored protein. I just prefer the neutral whole foods as far as protein goes. I don't think I see any other questions. Let me check in my private messages. I don't see any more in there. It was just the one about the serving sizes. So hopefully that helps. I hope to see all of you posting your pictures and telling us where you are in your count. And remember, this is you and your goal and making your progress over perfection. And so I'll see you over in the group. Have a wonderful week.